What's going on, world? It's your man Pat C's of Cesar LLC, mobile mechanic and roadside services. And last night or yesterday, I actually did a winch out. My truck, my Cadillac, for some reason I couldn't get it to engage four-wheel drive. In the process of this, I'm hooked up to the guy I went to go do a winch out for, and I get stuck. And it got me thinking about, why am I doing this with the equipment that I have? And I realized that I thought that it worked because I used it plenty of times before, but all it takes is being in a situation where you don't have the proper tools to not be able to get the job done. I'm having to actually take these breaths right now because we was out in the groves and it was dust everywhere, and I feel that there's some type of cloud over my lungs, so it's taking a little bit more effort to talk. So just in case you're wondering why I'm talking like this, I have to take deep breaths. So on my left and on my right, I got these tools, and then I was going through my numbers about how everything went down and what I have to do to not have to call somebody to help me out, because it's always something. And I haven't told a lot of people this, but I have this product that I'm in the work. I haven't even really told anybody but my wife. It's a product that I'm working on a patent for, and the attorney that I've been dealing with, I've talked to a couple, charges basically $250 per hour, $250 per hour. And I thought to myself, just the other day, as I'm going through my numbers and I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm in my shop right now, and I'm like, you know, I spend a lot of money just to be in business. My insurance is high, maintenance on the vehicle is high. I use older vehicles like the Cadillac because, which it's raining outside now, I would show it. I didn't realize how close I was to the groves because instead of going through the ruts, I decided to go closer to the trees where it's grass, and it scratched the hell out of one side pretty good. And I'm like, man, like, I would have hated to have been out here in a new truck and scratched my paint like this. Like, it's pretty bad. And so I'm like, man, how do I make money? Is this logical? I talked to this attorney for 2 hours and paid her $500 for a phone conversation, like over the phone. And this ain't even in person. I'm like, man, I wasn't even charging that much to go do the winch out. You know what I'm saying? And I was out there for like 2 hours. D-Man, my assistant, came out, his Jeep, and he pulled me out, and then his truck started overheating. The customer's car starts overheating, or the van started overheating. So I had to let both of them cool down while I let D-Man cool down. I pulled back in front and got the hard ground again and pulled the guy out. It took a lot. I'm saying it easy, but it took a lot more effort. And I thought about it. I'm like, man, I didn't have my traction bar. I didn't have my shovel. I didn't have my jack stands. What else do I got here? I didn't have multiple jacks. And I'm like, man, I would have been able to get myself unstuck had I just had the right equipment. And it's all about the right equipment at the right time. But hell, if my 4x4 would have worked, I would have had them out in like 20 minutes. The point of this, and this is for my Monday rationale, the right equipment at the right time is gonna make all the difference. But you should really think about the way in which you actually make money. When I look at this, I'm like, okay, this is like $100 and something jack, maybe a $20 can. I probably paid like 60 bucks for some jack stands. This traction bar cost me, you know, I don't know, like $60 to $80. My jump box and this battery tester, you know, you had a little bit over 100. I think I had this stuff for a while, but let's just say it was like $120 or something for both. And I have to physically go out to make the money that these can produce. I've had horrible luck with traction bars, which I really could have used it yesterday, at least to give me some type of leverage. My jack stands have been great. All my equipment has been great, but I have to have this type of stuff And then my ability to go out and use this stuff just to produce $1. This Monday rationale is about you should try to figure out a way to make money with your mind instead of with your hands. And so one of the reasons I do these YouTube videos is this is what's called pseudo passive income. I actively make a video and it gets watched and it stays on this platform, and as long as it gets watched for years and years and years, I get paid. I often talk about my Big Rim video because I made it 4 years ago and it still is one of my top performing videos. I still make a lot of money, well, not a lot of money, but I still make money off of that video. And this has been almost 5 years ago. These things, while they do produce money, I always have to go back out to make that money. And sometimes the equipment just isn't adequate. So what I'm ultimately getting at is that it makes more sense to try to figure out a way to make money with your mind instead of making money with your hands. Because you can only use these for so long. The last job I did last night was a tire plug for a buddy of mine, and his dad came out to help me do this tire plug. And he's like, Patrick, you know, when I was a young man, I was able to do these things. And he's 75 now. He looks damn good. And he's like, you know, I had this problem, got back issues, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I just can't do it. You know, he's like, when I've been over to grab a jack or something, or just anything, you know, it's extreme pain. And it's made me realize that I've came a long way with this space. But I have to really count the time that I'm gonna be able to do this and then maximize the amount of money I can, because I'm basically in my top earning prime is like now. And I'm looking around, I'm like, man, I have my shop and it's all expenses. And I think back to me talking to this lawyer the other day and how she made $250 to talk to me for $500 to talk to me for 2 hours. Purely off of what she knows, not necessarily what she does. She ain't did anything yet. That's the crazy part. She ain't really did anything but give me information. And information is key. Truth be told, y'all, there's easier ways to make a bag. I use this. Oh, my air tank too. I use these things and I utilize these and this because certain situations require it. But like I say, last night when I did this winch out, it made me realize that, man, to do what I'm trying to do at the level I'm trying to do it at, I need a few $100,000. Pretty easy, because you need a truck, you need a lot, I need a bigger shop. It's questionable for the future. It's questionable. Like I say, this attorney, I'm sure I don't know if she owns her building or rents her building or whatever, but I'm like, she got rent like I do too, but she has to hire people who already know what to do as far as in their mind, not necessarily. I have to hire people to come in and help me, but they have to physically know what to do or be able to take really good instruction. So having the right equipment at the right time would definitely do it. But there's better ways to make money than having to buy all this type of equipment just to go out and use the equipment. Especially when there's people who got thousands and thousands of dollars into their equipment and they do it for free. Whew, man. You gotta figure it out for yourself. I just wanted to put it out there that it was a really hard lesson to go out and make less by doing more physical work than this attorney that I paid who just talked to me. And on top of that, having to call somebody else out to help me because my situation got jammed up. So I'm okay with calling for help. I ain't saying that I'm not, but I just realized that there's just different ways to go about this, and maybe I need to rethink the way I'm going about this. With that being said, maybe you should too. So this is the Monday rationale. There's more ways to make money than with your hands if you really use your mind. Henceforth, why I create content, why I have my podcast, why I got my book selling, and I'm working on a couple other projects that I don't want to talk about until I have it solidified. I hope y'all catch something from this though. Rewind it, play it again, share it with a friend. Like, share, and subscribe. Matter of fact, check out the Truth Be Sold podcast. It's going to be in the link below. And until next time, mi gente, vi, pro mundo beneficio. Siempre.